So after they finish their lawsuit and they get to keep Chrome, all of a sudden, like 2 days after, Google announces their Chrome AI, which they say is revolutionizing web browsing, and it's out to compete with OpenAI's browser and Comet, which we were just demoing, and a few other things. What do you think about this, John?
Yeah. So here's something I never thought I'd say. Google just announced a major AI update, and I'm actually not annoyed. So let's talk about what you're getting here, because it's pretty interesting. So first, there's Gemini that's right in your browser. So you click an icon or use a keyboard shortcut, and you can ask questions about whatever web page you're on. Let's say you're reading a recipe for banana bread, but you need to make it gluten-free. So instead of opening a new tab and Googling substitutions, you just ask Gemini in Chrome, and it modifies the recipe using the page you're already on. Simple, but super helpful, right? The other thing is that it works across multiple tabs. So if you're planning a vacation with flights open in one tab, hotels in another, activities in another, you can tell Gemini to combine everything into one itinerary, which is super cool. So you don't have to manually copy and paste or keep notes in a separate document. And the last one, and this is really exciting, is it can search your browser history with natural language. So you know that feeling when you saw something online last week and you cannot for the life of you remember what website it was on? Well, now you can just ask, for example, what was the site where I saw the walnut desk last week? And Gemini is going to find it. Now, is this revolutionary technology? No. But is it solving annoyances and real world problems that are going to help us? Absolutely. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm a fan of AI tools.
Okay.
And, I don't want, all the flack about this and that, but like, let's face it, they're here and they're here to stay. And the more integrated we can do, we were testing Comet at the beginning and it found something it thinks is the best, I guess. It kind of paused there. It might have just stalled out in the background, but I'm looking at the AI browsers and when it can do more of these things, when you can ask it where you saw this, or you can say, is this the cheapest price? Or, is this the official MCP server for this thing? Like as an example, as a developer,
Yeah.
And Gemini can go look and say, oh no, you want this GitHub repo, not this GitHub repo, or that kind of stuff. The better, and the more it can now automate, say, hey, go to this site and do a couple of things, the better. So I'm a big fan of moving this forward. It all just becomes a question of what happens, with the data, and do we care?
My biggest concern with all of this going forward, and this is a caveat for everything, all AI stuff, is how much can we trust the answers that it's giving us, that it's accurate, and going forward, this is me, Conspiracy John here, is how much is it being controlled for us? So like in the background, is it telling us that yes, this is the cheapest camera, but that's because we want you to buy that one, kind of thing, if that makes sense?
Yeah. When does it become exactly that? And how are you going to tell it apart? And is it an algorithm that's hidden in the background, or is it something, where it's in the front, where it shows that this is an ad or a sponsored post or whatever? Yeah, and a lot of times these AI summaries get it wrong because they get their data from, not the best sources in the world.
Yeah, that's a whole other problem other than a whole other concern. But going back to this, I think that, this is just another Comet browser, which is great. I've never really messed around with Gemini too much. You know me, I love Claude. But I'm curious to know, has it rolled out, or it's coming out in October, right? They're going to start rolling it out?
Yeah, it's coming out soon. It's not in Canada yet for sure. I keep looking. And
what is it? Chrome 17? Is that the version?
Look for Gemini button when you update it. I'm trying to see stage rollout ensure stability, feedback, gradual
Oh,
adaptation
no, it's
for
not Chrome.
release in October 2025. I don't see a version number in my notes. So it is rolling out. I just think not here yet.
Yeah.
And because I have a Google corporate account, I have to go in probably to our Google admin and enable it on our user browsers and all that stupid hassle. Have you ever
Sorry,
done
I
that?
have to laugh at this. I asked if it's version 17. I think they're on version like 140, so I apologize. I'm probably going to get roasted for that, but
Yeah, I'm sure that is not I didn't even catch that you said version 17.
yeah.
Okay. I think this is great. The question becomes, who do you trust? Who's going to leapfrog the other? Chrome has an advantage because it has such a high install base. So if it can do a fraction of what some of these other ones can do, you know, if it does the same, whatever, people aren't going to leave. So they're going to potentially keep their market share rather than losing it, or more of it to Perplexity and ChatGTP and the other ones. What do you think? And I think specifically they didn't come out with this before the FTC ruling, so they didn't get punished because the other companies were eating their.
Yeah. Well, but it's all strategic with Google, right? So,
well,
I think all these companies.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the bigger companies, they have to be strategic because otherwise, you know, they get in trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in waiting to see what this rolls out and what it'll let me do. I'm always interested in a browser that can do stuff for me, especially if you can connect it via like an MCP or whatnot, and then give it commands via APIs, because that gets more and more exciting for me. When I can get it to update my website specifically with weird esoteric fields that I can't get at programmatically, and that kind of stuff, then it changes things. So love to know what you think. Google embedding Gemini Assistant, Smart Tab Management, enhanced security, agentic browsing, and revolutionizing web interactions with measured user-focused artificial intelligence integration. And I'm really looking forward to that agentic browsing, because I think that's really going to take my stuff to the next level. Let us know what you think. Are you going to be jumping on this, or you've already left Chrome to something else? Let us know. So what do you got going on, John?
Yeah, well, you know, just helping companies secure government funding. So, you know, it's a great time to reach out if you have any questions. How about you, Craig?
Well, there's a lot going on over at flowgrammer.ca. We're doing automation and AI and business processes. We do events, but we're really ramping our business up. And check out all the things we're doing over there. If you're interested in business automation, we've got community events where we're teaching everyone. We do an online, and we're about to launch our new resource center, flowgrammers.ca, which might be out when some of these are out. Other than that, check out for everything we do. Our monthly startup investor drinks, where you get to pitch to the crowd, business owners and investors, and have real conversations and make real connections. So for all those things, check out TorontoStarts.com. And for everything else, anything else, John, before we say goodbye?
No, just reach out to me on LinkedIn, John Irwin, if you want.
John Irwin on LinkedIn. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you